G'day, I'm Andrew Marshall with the Northern Australia Climate Program at the University of Southern Queensland, and this is a short summary of the Bureau of Meteorology's climate outlook for the northern half of Western Australia for the weeks and months ahead, issued in the last week of March 2026. So we'll take a look at the rainfall outlooks to begin with, starting with these outlook scenarios, and these are the rainfall totals that have a 75% chance of occurring for your region. So looking ahead to the 3 months from April to June here, we're seeing a 75% chance of around 25 to 50 millimetres for much of the Gascoyne, up to 25 millimetres for the Western Pilbara, and around 10 to 25 millimetres for northern parts of the Kimberley as we head into the dry season. Keep an eye on the outlook this week. It will be updated on Thursday afternoon for the May to July period. And our thoughts are very much with those of you still working under difficult circumstances with heavy rainfall, damaging winds and flooding continuing to affect parts of northern WA. Please look after yourselves and reach out to your local climate mate for the latest guidance around weather and climate conditions for your region. And as always, you can use this magnifying glass feature right here to drill deeper into the forecast for your location of interest, to break the forecast down into the chance of different rainfall amounts occurring. And this will give you an idea of how conditions are likely to be compared to the historical median. And your local climate mate will also be happy to go through this with you in more detail. All right, now we'll look at the temperatures, and the differences from average for maximum temperature here show warmer conditions for the northern half of WA for the 2 weeks from the 3rd to the 16th of April, and here the average is calculated over the 1981 to 2018 period for this time of year. And for minimum temperature, we're also expecting warmer than average conditions over that 2-week period for most regions, except much of the Kimberley. Now, looking at the chance of extremes map for the 3 months from April to June, we're seeing an elevated chance of unusually warm days and nights across most of Western Australia, again with exception to large parts of the Kimberley. And by unusually warm, we mean the highest 20% of historical temperature records for this time of year, based on the 1981 to 2018 period. Now remember, these long-range forecasts for rainfall and temperature provide the best guidance for local climate, so that is our focus as always. And these forecasts consider all ocean and atmosphere conditions that affect seasonal weather and climate. But if you are interested in some of the climate indicators that can influence the forecasts, we will have a look at these now. And starting with the sea surface temperatures for much of the Australian region, they remain warmer than average in the forecast for the 3 months from April to June, except for parts of the north. And these warmer than average waters are particularly notable in the Tasman Sea. Now, warmer oceans can provide increased moisture and energy, and that can enhance the severity of storms, cyclones, and rain systems. And now the La Nina event is close to its end. All models indicate further warming of the tropical Pacific is likely, with a shift to El Nino possible by about the end of winter. The Indian Ocean dipole is neutral, with most model forecasts indicating it will remain neutral until at least early winter 2026. And the Madden-Julian Oscillation, or the MJO, has been at moderate strength over the Pacific recently. It's forecast to gradually increase strength while moving into the Western Hemisphere in April. And when in the Western Hemisphere, the MJO can reduce rainfall over large parts of the country. Now, the Southern Annular Mode, or the SAM, was in its positive phase for a few days last week, and it's forecast to be neutral through most of April. Now, turning to the pasture growth outlook from long paddock for the 3 months from March to May, we're expecting to see pasture growth across Northern Australia, as is shown here, in response to the recent and forecast rainfall in the months ahead, with some areas of high, medium and low growth predicted. And finally, don't forget to visit the NACP Cattle Comfort Index prototype forecasts at nacp.org.au for information on how heat stress conditions are likely to vary over Northern Australia in the days ahead. Now, index values between 30 and 35 degrees represent moderate stress to cattle. Values between 35 and 40 degrees represent severe stress, and values above 40 degrees are considered extreme. So you can explore other forecast products there as well and read a whole lot more about the Northern Australia Climate Program. As always, for more information and updates, visit the Bureau's climate pages at bom.gov.au/climate. If you have any questions about weather and climate conditions, including recent and current extreme events or the use of forecast information, please reach out to your local climate mate. Stay safe and see you next time.